My fiancé said, "I'm fed up listening to your needs. You're way too emotional." I looked at her in shock and said, "Noted." Then I started hiding everything from her, even the job offer that I'd already accepted. And when she found out, her world came crashing down. Dear friends, please subscribe to my channel and boost my motivation. Thank you. I'm 29, and until 3 months ago, I thought I had my life figured out. Sarah and I had been together for 4 years, engaged for 8 months. We lived in a decent apartment in Chicago, split rent down the middle, and had one of those relationships everyone called goals on Instagram. Except nobody saw what happened behind closed doors. The night everything changed started so ordinarily, it's almost funny. I came home from a particularly brutal day. My boss had dumped a project on me with a 48-hour deadline, and I was exhausted. I walked in around 8 p.m., and Sarah was on the couch with her laptop, barely looking up. "Hey," I said, dropping my bag. "Rough day? Can we talk for a bit?" She didn't pause her typing. "About what?" "Just, I don't know. Work's been insane. I feel like we haven't really connected in weeks." That's when she closed her laptop with more force than necessary and turned to me with this look I'd never seen before. Cold. Irritated. "I'm fed up listening to your needs," she said flatly. "You're way too emotional. Do you know how exhausting it is? Every day it's something. You're stressed, you're tired, you need to talk. I have my own shit to deal with." I stood there, frozen. We'd had arguments before, sure, but nothing like this. Nothing this dismissive. "I just wanted to talk to my fiancé," I said quietly. "Well, maybe your fiancé is tired of being your therapist." I stared at her for a long moment. Then I said the only thing that came to mind. "Noted." I walked into the bedroom and shut the door. That night, lying in bed while she stayed on the couch, something fundamental broke in me. Not dramatically, more like a switch flipping off. I decided right then that if she didn't want to hear about my life, she wouldn't. What she didn't know was that I'd received a job offer 2 weeks earlier. A really good one. A position at a tech company in Austin with a 40% salary bump and relocation assistance. I'd been sitting on it, wanting to discuss it with her, figure out if we'd move together or if I'd commute for a while. After that night, I accepted it without saying a word. The next few weeks were weird. I went full gray rock. She'd ask how my day was. I'd say fine. She'd complain about her coworkers. I'd nod and say nothing. At first, she seemed relieved. No more emotional conversations, no more neediness. She was actually friendlier, more affectionate. It was like she preferred a version of me that didn't exist. I started packing slowly. A box here, a box there. Things she wouldn't notice. Old books, winter clothes, some kitchen stuff we had duplicates of. I told her I was donating things to make space. She barely looked up from her phone. 3 weeks after I accepted the offer, I got a call from my new employer confirming my start date, November 18th. It was October 22nd. I had less than a month. That's when things got interesting. Update 1. I should mention that during this time, Sarah's behavior got stranger. She was on her phone constantly, smiling at texts, sometimes stepping out to take calls. The old me would have asked about it, gotten anxious, wanted to talk. The new me just watched and took mental notes. One evening, I came home early, around 5:30 instead of my usual 7. I heard her voice from the bedroom, low and flirty. "No, he won't be home for another hour at least." "I know, baby, I miss you too." I stood in the hallway, grocery bag still in hand. She wasn't even trying to be quiet. I waited there, silent, until she came out. She jumped when she saw me. "Oh my God, you scared me. Why are you home so early?" "Left early." "Who was that?" "Just my sister," she said, not meeting my eyes. "Cool," I said, and walked past her to put the groceries away. She followed me into the kitchen. "You're being weird lately." "Am I?" "Yeah. You're so distant." I turned to look at her. "You said you were tired of listening to my needs." "I'm just respecting that." "I didn't mean..." "Look, I was stressed that day. You're taking it too seriously." "Noted," I said again, and the word clearly bothered her because her jaw tightened. "Stop saying that." I shrugged and left the room. That night, she tried to initiate sex for the first time in weeks. I told her I was tired. The irony wasn't lost on me. 2 days later, I found out who she'd been talking to. I wasn't snooping. Her laptop was open on the kitchen table, and a message notification popped up. "Can't wait to see you Friday night. The hotel room is perfect." The sender was named Marcus. I didn't recognize the name, but I took a photo of the screen with my phone. Then I did something I'm not proud of. I checked her messages when she was in the shower. Marcus was her coworker. They'd been seeing each other for at least 2 months based on the message history. The messages were explicit. Plans for hotels. Complaints about me being clingy and exhausting. One message from her, dated 3 weeks ago, I'm so done with him. The second this lease is up, I'm out. I closed the laptop and sat there, weirdly calm. I wasn't even that hurt. More validated than anything. I'd been right to protect myself. Update 2. I didn't confront her. What would be the point? Instead, I accelerated my plans. I found a subletter for my half of the lease. A friend of a friend who was desperate for a place. I scheduled movers for November 15th, 3 days before my start date. I opened a new bank account and rerouted my direct deposit. I removed her as my emergency contact everywhere. I even bought a plane ticket. Sarah had no idea. She kept seeing Marcus, Friday nights mostly, claiming she was out with coworkers or helping her sister. I said okay to everything. I was pleasant, neutral, completely checked out. November 10th, she asked me what I wanted to do for Thanksgiving. I'll probably be busy, I said. Busy with what? Work stuff. She frowned. You never have work stuff on holidays. Things change. That seemed to bother her, but she didn't push it. The cognitive dissonance must have been wild. She was cheating on me, planning to leave me, but still wanted me around for holidays and rent payments. November 14th, the day before the movers, I came home to find her in a surprisingly good mood. Hey, so I was thinking, she said, maybe we should finally set a wedding date. Like, actually do it. Maybe next fall. I looked at her, this woman I'd planned to marry, who'd been sleeping with someone else while telling me I was too emotional, and I almost laughed. Sure, I said. Let's talk about it this weekend. Really? She seemed genuinely happy. Relieved, even. Yeah, this weekend. She hugged me. I stood there with my arms at my sides. Update 3. November 15th, moving day. I'd taken a personal day from work. Sarah thought I was at the office. The movers arrived at 9 a.m. I'd already packed everything that mattered. Clothes, electronics, important documents, sentimental items. I left the furniture since most of it was hers or jointly purchased. I even left the engagement ring on the kitchen counter with a note. The note said, I'm fed up listening to your lies. You're way too unfaithful. Noted. Enjoy your life with Marcus. The subletter will contact you about rent. Don't contact me. I also printed out screenshots of her messages with Marcus and left them next to the ring. I was gone by noon. The movers packed my stuff into storage in Austin, and I checked into a hotel near O'Hare for my 6 a.m. flight the next morning. My phone started blowing up around 5 p.m. 17 calls from Sarah. Dozens of texts. Where are you? What the fuck is this note? You went through my private messages? You can't just leave. We need to talk about this. I can explain everything. Marcus means nothing. Please answer me. You're being so immature. After everything I've done for you. You OWE me a conversation. I blocked her number after reading them. I figured she'd earned the screenshots and the note. That was her conversation. She called my mom. My mom called me. Sarah's hysterical, Mom said. She says you abandoned her. She's been cheating on me for months, Mom. I'm moving to Austin for a new job. I didn't abandon anyone. Austin? What job? Since when? Since I accepted the offer a month ago. And you didn't tell anyone? She told me she was tired of listening to me. So I stopped talking. There was a long pause. Then my mom said, send me those screenshots. I did. Mom called back 10 minutes later. Okay. Do you need anything? I'm good. I'll call you when I'm settled. Final update. It's been 2 months. I'm writing this from my apartment in Austin. The job is incredible. Better team, better projects, better pay. I've made friends. I joined a climbing gym. I'm doing therapy, actually, to work through some of the damage from that relationship. Turns out I wasn't too emotional. I was just with someone who had zero emotional availability. Sarah tried to reach out through mutual friends for a few weeks. According to them, she and Marcus dated for about 3 weeks after I left before he dumped her. Something about her being too intense and moving too fast. The irony is delicious. She had to cover my half of the rent herself for 2 months before the subletter's lease started, which apparently destroyed her finances. She's since moved back in with her parents. Several friends have asked why I didn't confront her, why I just left. Here's the thing. People who dismiss your feelings don't deserve your explanations. She showed me exactly how much she valued me. I just believed her and acted accordingly. My mom sent me a wedding gift refund check last week. Apparently, Sarah's mom had already started collecting contributions. I donated it to a men's mental health charity. I'm not dating yet. Not ready. But I'm not hiding anymore either. I talk about my day, my feelings, my needs. And the people in my life actually listen. Turns out that's normal. Who knew? Edit 1. A lot of people are asking if Sarah ever apologized. She tried once through a mutual friend, claiming she made mistakes, but I'd handled it wrong. That's not an apology, that's blame shifting. I didn't respond. Edit 2. Yes, I know going through her laptop was wrong. I'm not defending it. But finding out your partner is cheating doesn't erase the violation of their privacy. It just explains why you felt crazy for months. Both things can be true. Edit 3. The subletter worked out great. He knew the full situation before signing anything. Stand up, guy.